For over 20 years, the Botanical Research Institute of Texas has honored those individuals and organizations who led the way in conserving and protecting our natural habitats with the International Award of Excellence. This year, BRIT is proud to recognize the work and influence of Texas's own Carter Smith, Executive Director of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. Carter grew up in Central Texas, spending much of his childhood outdoors, exploring the wildlife on his family's farm and ranch lands.
Big reason why I got involved in conservation was just an artifact of immersion in the outdoors as a kid. We all love to hunt and fish and roam and spend all our time in the outdoors, and at an early age that impressed upon me really a love of our state's wild things and wild places.
It was those early years that led to Carter's passion for conservation and stewardship, as Carter pursued both a wildlife management degree from Texas Tech, followed by a master's in conservation biology from Yale University. And today, both universities list Carter Smith as one of their most outstanding alumni.
This is a man with great vision, with an extreme amount of energy and a love of nature, and a protector of wildlife and the landscape.
Working with Carter is a delight. He is inspiring, knowledgeable. He has the most incredible lexicon of anyone I know. In fact, it's kind of daunting, and one often feels inferior with his mastery of the English language.
Over the next 20 years, Carter would go on to be one of the most influential conservationists Texas has had the honor to have as one of its own. As if being able to see his own future, Carter Smith started his professional career as a management intern at the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department back in the early 90s. Over the next several years, he used his drive and dedication to head the Katy, Prairie Conservancy before taking on the task of serving as the Director of Conservation at the Nature Conservancy of Texas, ultimately advancing to State Director in 2004.
There's so many facets to Carter Smith. He is passionate about what he does. He has incredible intelligence about all types of conservation.
Carter has also been instrumental in assisting other Texas-based organizations such as the Texas Land Trust Council, Texas Tech University, and the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department's State Parks Advisory Committee.
I think his passion has inspired a lot of other agencies, both for-profit and non-for-profit, to take a second look at their roles in conservation. What more can they, as organizations, do to join the cause of saving Texas natural resources?
People like Carter are so important to conservation in Texas. He and others inspire us to care about wild things and wild places. As Carter likes to say, they need you now more than ever.
The passion that Carter Smith has for nature, preservation of wildlife as well as plant life, is infectious, and this man is committed to conserving our natural resources and protecting those natural resources.
Carter is our Superman of conservation in the state of Texas. He singularly inspires more people to be passionate about parks, wildlife, habitat, rivers, lands, and those things that make Texas, Texas more than anybody I know.
In 2008, Carter returned to his early roots, assuming the role of Executive Director of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. His responsibility includes overseeing over 3,100 employees, 11 divisions, and an annual operating budget of over $400 million. And all this is done in the name of managing and conserving the natural and cultural resources of our great state. Some other highlights in Carter's successful career in conservation include his personal dedication to private land stewardship, rare and invasive species issues, as well as deep water coastal issues.
Conservation starts at home, and there's a place for every one of us, and that's true whether we live on a farm or ranch, or we live in the middle of downtown Houston, Austin, San Antonio, or Fort Worth. We all get to make choices about land use and use of water that add up individually. They may seem small, but as a body they matter. And so The more that we can do to help exemplify stewardship in our daily lives, the better off we're going to be, and everybody can participate in that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Botanical Research Institute of Texas is proud to present the 2016 International Award of Excellence in Conservation to Mr. Carter Smith. Presenting the award tonight is BRIT's Vice Chairman of the Board, Ed Bass.